Now, a lot of girls have issues with the kind of guys they date, with certain figures in our lives being varying degrees of present. I don't want to get all Freudian about it, but I've got issues. Horse issues. Yes, I date men that remind me of the horse I never had. The horse that I fell off when I was 5 and never got back on. Well, I've been on a few things since and I haven't found my stallion. See, because I never had a horse, it's given me issues Freud would have a field day on. Give me 2 men in a horse suit and I'll have a good time. It's just, I love men who feed off the palm of my flat hand. Men who can fit a whole carrot in their mouths. I've got reins and a mouth harness with me if anyone thinks they can be my equine prince. I don't need a thoroughbred, but bring me a shire and I'll grab him by his mane. I'll call you whatever turns you on. Oh yeah, horsey. Yeah, don't trotting stop, horsey. Give it to me, horsey. Be the horse I never had. The pony I pine for. The Mustang I must have. I love a man with a ponytail, and obviously he has to be hung like a horsey men are just like him. And all I want is a man who can jump over a 7-foot fence with me on his back. Is that too much to ask? This is a new one. I'm testing the waters with it. Please tell me if it's too far. As if that last one wasn't. It's called, before I start, has anyone got any pet names for their vagina?
I know someone who calls it their biscuit.
Right, I'm going to call it a biscuit all the way through this part. Because that's brilliant. I used to call mine either my front bottom or my penny. Apology to my biscuit. This is an apology to you, my biscuit. And I'd love to look you in the eye while I say this, but it's not physically possible. But here goes anyway. I've messed you about, not being dedicated enough to you, or shown you the love you deserve. But that stops now. It's all candlelit dinners and long sensuous baths for you now. It started pretty young. After I realised I didn't just have a smooth bit like my Barbies. I was fascinated by you, my fleshy pencil case. Though I didn't try and stick crayons at you. And I was too scared to touch you directly, so it was always through pants. Vagina by proxy. And I don't know how I found this out, but I realised at about 8 years old that if I shoved a book hard enough between my legs, it felt quite nice. You can't call yourself a book lover until you The Enid Blyton hardbacks. But the sexiest book we had was the Collins Family Encyclopedia. The first time I had an orgasm, it was an accident, and I thought I was dying. I was desperately trying to stop the feeling, because I didn't want my mum to find me dead with no knickers or trousers on. I had no idea what an orgasm was, and I thought you might get pregnant from it. I was like, how am I going to explain to my parents that I'm pregnant? I'm 8. I'm really sorry about all those table corners I ran into. Unfortunately, they line up perfectly with my fanny bone. I'm sorry for all the hairstyles, or lack of, I've given you. Particularly waxing. I felt like my vagina had been ripped off. Sorry about the time I plaited it. Because I thought it would be funny. It was just painful. I saw it anyway because my housemates declined the viewing. I apologise for comparing you to others and thinking you weren't normal. I'm sorry for not doing enough cables. I know it wasn't your fault all those times I laughed a little too hard and a bit of wee came out. But I promise to make you into a vagina of steel in the future. Thank you. I had a sex dream about you. And man, was it good. We covered sexier things than a clitoral hood. And now, when I'm in bed about to fall asleep, all I can do is sigh and say, oh God. But not the good kind of oh God. Just the kind of oh God that asks, why aren't we doing this in real life? And then I remember it's because whenever I speak to you, I say weird stuff like things about clitoral hoods. But we're totally on the same wavelength. I mean, you messaged me just as I was thinking about you. Okay, I was thinking about you for that whole week non-stop, but I still call that fake. And I don't think I can dream that vividly about me doing that thing to your ear without you knowing what went down just a little bit. Like, I know it was my dream, but how can you not remember that? It was extremely erotic. Maybe I'll just have to date you in my dreams. But it might be hard to distinguish between dream you and real you. Because although dream you never leaves me unsatisfied, real you could probably still make me orgasm just by touching my leg. I've written a poem for you. I'll read it to you one day. It's got beautiful things in it. It's also got really sexy things in it. So I really hope we get to the point where I can stop waiting for you to fall asleep before I climb your window. And I've thought about just telling you, but what good will that do me? Because I'm fully expecting you to drop whatever you're holding. Suitcase, mic, not the person. Run through the mist, there'll be a steam train in the background. And pick me up and swing me round. You are much stronger in my dream. And that's when you'll confess your love for me. And although it probably won't happen that way, it will be okay because that thing you did in my dream with your tongue in my elbow, well, that was really great.